Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the FEG PC NASCAR Oval Series every Monday night, brought to you by FEGPC.net. Today we find ourselves at the virtual iRacing Speedway. Miles long, high bankings, wide open action to start off segment 4 of this season. As always, I'm your host, James E. Spring to Action 1080p, 60 frames a second. As right now, drivers are making their way out for single car qualifying. And let me tell you, that's going to be a long way around the racetrack here. As let's check in on some of the suspects. Looks like Matthew Doolin, number 17 machine, out on track, making his way around. And as always, let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on. I appreciate it up here in the booth, and the drivers most certainly appreciate it. As we take a look, looks like it's Chris Davis on that number 1 Chevrolet. Current pole setter with a 50.51. This is a long track, and if we have any eye-pacing situations where we see the cautions come out later, it is going to be an extremely long time. Now, last week, the season finale, we had a doubleheader. It was a long night. Drivers spent about 4.5 hours over the course of the evening, so they may be looking for some green flag racing here today, but in a racetrack that almost encourages 3-4 wide racing. It'll be interesting to see who plays it safe and who's going to risk it all early on. And with how long this racetrack is, 3 laps, going to be tough for the drivers who haven't made their way out. Now, interesting enough, I don't think a lot of drivers are going to qualify here. I'm believing they're going to try and start from the back, hang back, let some of the fast trucks kind of crash themselves out before they try and make some late race moves here. Is coming around. Will he get a second lap here? He's got about a quarter of the raceway left to go. Only 10 drivers have put down qualifying times. Looks like about 15, 16 that are registered for today's main event. Will crosses the line. Does he improve on a 50.57? He does slightly, a 50.4. Good enough for third place, but it's going to be John Ballou and Eli Warren running first and second, both with 50.37 second lap times. And that's going to wrap up qualifying here today for the iRacing Super Speedway. Taking a look at tonight's grid, it's John Ballou starting in the top spot, Eli Warren starting second, Matthew Doolin starting third, Chris Davis starting fourth on the grid, Jeremy Paris starting 5th. Adam Shane starts 6th. Shane Davis starting 7th. Mark McFadden starting 8th. Devin Rogers starts 9th. Ken McCullough Jr. 10th on the grid. Derek Fulton starting 11th. Dalton McKinney starting 12th. Cycling back, we've got Eric Park starting 13th. Chad Ross starting 14th. Jeffrey Radke starting 15th. Corey Stahl starting 16th. John Mullahan 17th on the grid. Stephen Page starting 18th. Jay Dargert starting 19th. James Kaufman 20th. Rylan Fascinato starting 21st. Wally Babb starting 22nd. John Powers starts 23rd. Chris Luttrell starting 24th. Cycling back one more time, and you've got Jordan Darnell is going to round out the 25 truck grid here tonight. Get ready to get them fired up, ready to go. Waiting for these racers to go out, waiting on Junior 10th place spot. Like we've also waiting on Chad Ross and Chris Luttrell. Luttrell makes his way out on the grid. 500, so still waiting on McCullough and Ross here. Now coming into tonight, One fast repair is available to these drivers. I wonder if it's because that's a super speedway rule. 17 incidents available. And it looks like we're going to get things rolling here. It's 80 laps at the iRacing Super Speedway. The $1 million question, the bodywork crunching question. Will drivers take it a little bit easy, try and get through a pit run? Or are they going to be ripping it right off the line? Now, Ken McCall Jr. now opting to start from pit road in the 03 machine. As John Ballou, Eli Warren on the front spot, the front row. Davis Dula, your second row. Paris Shane, your third row. Here we go, pace car is in. Let's get things fired up for the FEG PC Truck Series as the green flag flies. John Ballou, Eli Warren in the front row, but here comes Matthew Newell, number 17 machine, working the inside line. And already seeing the drivers trying to find where they're going to settle in at. As they build up speed in turn one. Now I'm expecting speeds over 200 miles an hour here tonight. As they work the draft, and yes, already looks to be about 210 and climbing down the back stretch. As John Ballou and Matthew Newell linked up nose to tail. Now the iRacing Super Speedway a little bit bumpy going to the track, moves up ever so slightly. Allows the truck to kind of get a flight. Have the first lap looked off. Drivers hitting speed of 230 miles an hour in these specialized trucks. So absolutely mind-blowing just how fast they're going. Look, that was McCullough up on the high line, the 03 machine. He opted to start from pit road, expecting some fast trucks to be sent back to the hauler early here tonight. Because when the crash happens, not if but when, it is absolutely going to be the big one here. And so far, the top 3-4 drivers opting to stay single file. If you go back to Eli Wharton, he's side by side with McKinney. That's going to be the battle for 5th. Right behind them is Jane. And now looks like Warren's starting to get up next to the They're trying to get the outside line formed up, but just not getting a whole lot of support. As, well, I think that was Dalton McKinney, the 46 machine, violently going to the high line. Moves up to third, but number 24 of Paris going to edge him out here. Unless McKinney can find a partner to work that track with him. No, he's going to hop back in the groove just ahead of McFadden. A lot of blocks just as 79 is Shane. And McKinney hop out of the groove in front of him. Radke's got a good charge in the 51 machine. He's pushing McKinney. McKinney now up 11 spots, showing as your race leader. As Radke gets him a harder shove, will these drivers hop down the inside line? Yes, they do. That's going to leave the 79 machine of Adam Shane out to dry, side by side with John Ballou. 4 laps in, these guys are getting really dicey early on. Right now, Rylan Fascinato in the 69 machine. Jeffrey Radke trying to take that spot. He's up 14 spots. So yes, now Radke is the hard. As they're bobbing and weaving. It's only lap 5 of an 80-lap feature event. John Ballou wants to stay out front. Now he's got Chris Davis going to be to the right side of him, up in the high line. Looks like we hinted 3 wide action. Everybody trying to back out of it here. So again, if you're just tuning in, there's 25 drivers out on track. And you're watching the race leaders dice it up here tonight. John Ballou, Jeremy Paris linked up nose to tail. Radke and Babb linked up right behind. And it looks like that second line getting some steam built up here. Jeffrey Radke going to go side by side with that number 9 Chevrolet. There's the 99 machine of Wally Babb, who's charged up towards the front. He's up 18 spots so far. As the 24 of Paris stays tucked in behind that number 9. And a safe bet. John Ballou's been very fast all season long, but look at Radke going very high. It's a little bit too risky. Let's kind of watch this unfold and see what happens. They do have one fast repair, but nobody wants to use that get-out-of-jail-free card early on in the morning, or in the race, I should say. And here comes Wally Babb, number 99. He's up 21 positions. Straight to the front. He's side by side with Ballou. He's got McKinney as his pusher in the 46 machine. Trying to get that way high line formed up. He's got a 25 of Davis on his inside line. And this is going to allow, things are getting hectic there. Looks like Babb getting shuffled around the 99. As number 1, Chris Davis has the big blink. And the speed's touching the 240 miles an hour. You want to make sure the guy around you is going to stay nice and predictable here. That way you guys can bring home a relatively safe race truck. I think, yes, that was Shane Davis. The 25 machine took a hard hit to the outside wall. And he's going to drop down the standing like a rock here. The track that you absolutely do not want aero damage on. As we check back in your race leaders, Ballou and Paris. Looks like Sean Powers has moved up to 3rd. John Mulligan with the 12th machine trying to make some lunges here. And we've got problems. That was Rylan Fascinato tied up in that one. I see smoke ahead as well. I think that's McFadden. No, is that Devin Rogers tied up in that one somehow? Try and get a look here and see what just happened. It looked like it started with McFadden as he's one of the first drivers involved in it. Watching Devin Rogers, the number 25 machine, the all-black truck. There's smoke ahead. Who is that? That's the 69 of Fascinato, I believe. Yes, it is. Let's back that camera angle up. Watching Fascinato, the 69. He's got the number 5 on the inside line of McFadden. McFadden, I think, came up there, tagging that quarter panel Fascinato. Then it's going to be a high-speed game of bumper cars here at the iRacing Super Speedway. But as far as Super Speedway's crashes go, not as bad as I would expect. That'll be our first caution, 11 laps in of today's main event. As it looks like just about everybody's going to come down pit road here. Now, tonight at iRacing Super Speedway, I don't think tires are going to be quite as important. As it looks like Baloo will stay out front, either took right side tires or just took fuel here. We got Paulina Fascinato join us in the spectator area, as well as Abby Laughlin. Paulina cheering on the number 69 of Fascinato. Abby cheering on the 66 of Corey Stahl. Now, we talked about earlier, these drivers have one fast repair in their back pocket. Do they use it now? Or do they maybe expect some more carnage later on this evening? Let's see how this is going to pan out. We've got about 16 drivers on track, a whole lot more still down pit road. Let's see how this is going to go. Looks like everybody's back out on track. All 25 drivers still rolling here. Let's try this again with a lap 14 restart. Green flag is out. Here goes Sean Ballou, Jeremy Paris up front. And will it be as hectic here? Drivers may have had a bit of a taste of carnage there. Knowing, hey, very early in the run to have that wadded up race car. They've got a long time to think about while pacing. A pacing lap just shy of 2 minutes long here at the 3 Mile Raceway. As it stands, it's Ballou, Paris, Mullihan, Davis, and Powers, your current top 5. And for the most part, looks like 4 trucks happy running single file here, trying to get a bit of a breakaway. The top 6 have about 4/10 over 7th place Eli Warren. Let's pan a little bit further back to Warren and see. Oh, he's right there with him. Start get back up here and maybe catch the draft of the drivers in front of him. But every time they hop out of formation there, kind of swerving around, trying to get some clean air in front of those trucks, it opens up a massive hole in the air for somebody like Warren to try and pull himself back up towards the front. Now Dula and Warren have linked up. It looks like Sean Powers on the high line, with I believe Wally Babb trying to push that number 5 truck up towards the front, side by side with Ballou and Paris now. The team distance drivers getting a whole lot of support from the fans here this evening. As it looks to be about an 8-truck breakaway here. Like Corey Stahl at the tail end of that line in the 66 Chevrolet trying to work up towards the front. But we've already seen one big crash, only 11 laps in. Thankfully the track remained fairly clear. As it's about mid-pack that found themselves involved in that one. The field definitely looking a little bit more spread out here. Great team passion about the top 16 running within a couple seconds of each other. Then about 17th, 18th, 19th, a little 3-truck pack. You've got 20th through about 24th also in a pack. And we've got some 3-wide action. Looks like that's Powers, Stahl, and I believe Babb running together as Powers, I think, wisely backs out of it. You're going to see that several times here tonight. Drivers have a good run, kind of look around and say, you know what, it's a little bit too dicey for this point of the race, and then pull up to the high line and let some trucks by, especially for those tonight that may be playing the fuel mileage game as well. comes Davis looking to the inside line. Looks like Mullahan's going to fall back a little bit. And the number 12 Chevrolet. The Chevrolet, they're running first through sixth right now. Your fastest Ford out on tracks, the 99 of Wally Babb. He's seventh. Eli Warren running eighth. And the number 19 Toyota Tundra trying to move things up a little bit for himself. And right now the field just about single file all the way around. Now I'm nervous to say it, but I think the driver's kind of taking it a little bit easier here. Sure, it looked like somebody had a big lag spike. I'm not quite sure it was. Maybe Jordan Darnell, number 15 machine. No, it's further up. Somebody's got a massive blinking problem. I think Chris Davis, the number 1 machine, may be the culprit there. Throwing all sorts of warnings and flashing lights on our broadcast software. Binkley's able to get together as John Ballou, Jeremy Harris had a bit of a breakaway, but Mullahan closing the gap once more. Looks like 11 laps is about the limit before things start to get very exciting here. Drivers looking a little bit anxious. We've got more than half the race left to go, but racers are gonna race, as they say. John Mullahan absolutely flying. He's got Jeremy Paris giving him a strong push from behind. John Mullahan also in the fray. Right now, I believe, yes, we get confirmation, it's Wally Babb. Your current hard charger of the night. Babb's moved that 99 Ford F-150 up 16 positions from where he started. As he tucks in about the 4th or 5th shot on the inside line of the 99. So far, things are looking really clean, really smooth out of these guys. I think that stall up on the high line, yes, it is the 66. He had Fascinato tucked in behind him. Fascinato going out of his way to pick up the Sean Powers Ford F-150 to try and get things going on that high line. And you can see drivers thinking about moving around. Maybe looking for a different spot, but not quite able to do so. I think that was Dula in the 17 machine. Yes, that was Dula in the 17. It looked like he was going to go to the high line. Drivers a little hesitant to stay committed. Nobody wants to lose the draft out in front of them. As Stahl still staying out to the high line, trying to build up some support here, but also playing it safe. The 66 of Stahl, the 69 of Fascinato, and Powers not trying to work the side draft too much against that lead pack, but they're very slowly falling back here. Now, if you hug those trucks right next to each other, you can kind of take the air off that inside line, work your way a little bit further forward, but it's a risky move. Any sort of mistake is a quick way to find yourself getting plunged into the cheapest seats. Yeah, the fans liking the action between Stahl and Fascinato. Great guys working together. Looks like they've got a little bit more of a run built up, pushing Stahl now up into third. Look at that, John Mullahan, the number 12. He's got a fair amount of damage on the right side of that machine. But Bab in the 99 still working that inside line, picking up the draft from Mullahan. So Mullahan, even though he's got a little bit of damage here, not all is lost. He's staying right in that draft of Baloo and Paris in front of him, running first and second. Able to hold on to that third place spot. Now I'm curious just how far can these guys go on fuel here tonight. We're running a little bit limited fuel tanks. I believe it's 65% fuel allotment in these trucks. That'll play out a little bit on strategy. We still have, I believe, yes, 24 drivers on the lead lap. As the run from the outside line has stalled slightly, every bit of the pun intended. And now the number 66 machine's going to tuck in 8th place behind Fascinato. And it's looking like some single file action for a little while longer here. Now lap traffic going to come into play, but thankfully the field just about all single file here. That was number 25 of Shane Davis. We saw him take a hit the outside of the wall, start to fall back. He's over a yellow, unfortunately just not coming soon enough, as he is now 2 laps down from the pack, and just about everybody running single file. And look at that violent pit entry. Here we go, John Baloo. Oh, who is that? That was the 46. Butchered the pit entry. I think that was the 46. We're trying to find it on camera here. Dalton McKinney absolutely yard sales it here into the pit road. Watch this. The 46 machine hits the banking, gets all sorts of unsettled, and just absolutely drills the inside wall, bounces back out on track, misses the pit entry, and then takes a tow back to pit road. So that's what happens when you're trying to pit at 200 miles an hour. That's going to leave about most of the field out. Oh, here we go. There's carnage on pit road. Around goes Dula. Around goes the 41 of Kaufman. They've wadded up on pit road. Look at the 25 machine. Jay turning it across traffic. What are we watching here? That's Devin Rogers. I have never. An absolute bloodbath. We're going to try and get a shot of that because that was just absolutely fantastic. Trying to find that from Devin Rogers. Enhance. So watch this shenanigans is the only way I can describe it. Back that camera angle up a little bit more. And watch this. This might be one of my favorite replays I've pulled up in a while. Let's see what maybe caused this. It looks like it's ahead of the 25 machine. Oh, I think Dargert maybe came in a little bit hot, and then it's absolute parking lot on pit road. And around they go. I've called a lot of races. I think that's the first time I've seen that one. So it's showing Kevin McCullough Jr., Derek Fulton, your race leaders. They came in together on lap 31. A bit of an overcut from the rest of the field, but watch this. Here comes John Ballou, Jeremy Paris, ripping it, single file, nose to tail. And that's Kevin McCullough Jr., Derek Fulton. Will they get up to speed quickly enough to try and latch on to the back of the 9, the 24? A good 30-mile-an-hour speed difference there. I don't think McCullough and Fulton is going to be able to link up here with Ballou and Paris. Nope, they have quickly left the 3rd and 4th place drivers behind them. And they're going to try and get a bit of a breakaway. Now it looks to me like Kevin Rogers has retired out of the event. And I'm impressed. Ballou and Paris pulling a gap. I mean, you can see the rest of the field behind, but we may have a caution. Yes, we do. Jay Dargert finds himself pointing the wrong direction. And that's going to be his second caution of the night. Let's see what happened to the 57 machine. Well, I don't know what happens, but it doesn't look like a good start. I can't tell if Dargert came up or the 15 of Darnell. I can't tell if Dargert came down or Darnell went up, but possibly even a bit of a net code between the two. But we're going to have our second caution of the night, as Dargert just having a worse night, getting even worse here. Now this may give some of the drivers a chance to try and hammer out some repairs on these machines, but you know who's not happy is John Ballou, Jeremy Paris, who did such a great job on pit strategy. Had a fairly comfortable gap on the rest of the field. Looks like most drivers are going to take this opportunity to come back down pit road. I believe Dalton McKinney gets the lucky dog in the 46 machine. Yes, he does. I thought he was going to be out for the evening, so good to see the 46 grabbing that fast repair, getting back out there and staying in it. McKinney takes this opportunity to come down pit road as we get everybody lined back up. So we're going to stack them back up, and as they say, cautions breed cautions. Being about 20 laps or so out of a green flag run for these drivers, at least so far. Let us know out there at home. Do you think we're going to get a green flag run again? We had one green flag pit cycle so far tonight. It got close. And then a caution right afterwards. Or do you think we're going to have another big pile up here as we get the field stacked back together? Here we go once more. Well, let's see how this one's going to pan out. I saw a little bit of smoke towards the back. I'm not sure if the restart was good or not, but it's going to be Baloo and Paris up front. Look at Kent McCullough Jr., who started from pit road, making a run up towards the front. The Super Speedway Pro is here to stay. So Baloo able to hold on to the race lead. Jeremy Paris second, Wally Bath third as McCullough tries to get the high line formed up. Looks like that's going to be the bright pink Toyota of Derek Fulton out there on the high line with him. Just two trucks against a whole lot of Titans here. Just about at the halfway mark. And things are already getting dicey up front. Looks like it's going to be Baloo, Paris, Bath, Davis, Mullihan, your top five. Bath takes a peek to the outside line, not quite able to commit. Davis looks like he's going to go with him as he's bumping doors with Mullihan. Looks like he doesn't have much of an option but to go the high line with Chris Davis. McCullough's going to give him a hearty shove, trying to get the number one machine up and moving. Last time by, drivers hit speeds 240 miles an hour here tonight. Oh, looks like Davis with another massive blink at an extremely inopportune time. That's got to be a white knuckle moment for Kent McCullough. As it looks like that's 17 drivers in one pack, ladies and gentlemen. And what's this? It shows Matthew Dula involved in a crash, and yes, that is going to be the case. Dula is parked on the inside of the track, number 17. Well, let's see what happened at the halfway mark here tonight. Dula up high, the 17. Oh, massive netcode between himself and the number 15 of Jordan Darnell. Let's watch that one once more. That might be some of the most egregious. Watch that one from. That might be some of the most egregious netcode I've seen. So not actual contact between the two. We're watching Matthew Dula on the right side of your screen. The number 15 of Jordan Darnell on the inside. He's in the bright red truck. Now watch, this a great camera angle from our FEG PC.net chopper cam. The sim thinks they're going to connect. Not even close. I mean, 3 feet between the two. And unfortunately, Matthew Dula is going to get punted out to the outside wall. A massive impact. Pirouettes through the air before he's forced to take a tow back to pit road. And that will be the third caution of the night. And unfortunately, I think that 25 is going to be done for the evening here. So as we are at the halfway mark, we're going to run a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the FEG PC NASCAR Oval Series. Supporting the league and supporting me up here in the broadcast booth. Couldn't do it without you guys as we get them gridded back up. I think that's going to be our third caution of the night. Yes, past the halfway mark. And it looks like Balloon, Harris, Davis, and Shane have opted to stay out for the track position here. It's going to be Ballou and Paris the front row. Shane Davis, your second row. McFadden and Mullahan, your third row. Pace car is in. And away they go. Green flag racing once more. Now let's see how quickly Ballou and Paris can get linked back up together. Looks like quickly it's going to be the answer. That's Adam Shane left to his own devices on the high line. Chris Davis tucks in behind the 9, the 24 of Ballou and Paris. Now every time we have a big crash, that's at least a couple more drivers having that fast repair taken away from them. So sometimes you would think that would kind of push drivers to be a little bit more careful. Other times, drivers seeing a new highest position in their sights, playing what I like to call the old draft lottery here. Hands down the biggest where the drivers are going to find themselves at all season long, a full half mile bigger than Talladega or Daytona. I think Ballou and Paris have a plan. Stay linked up, nose to tail, click off some laps. Because for them, the safest spot they can be in here is comfortably out front. Because historically, at least so far tonight, a lot of the big crashes we've seen is about midfield back. Now I think we're going to still have one more green flag stop here tonight. If we get that green flag run going, we just barely had one earlier on the night, and the caution came out just 1 or 2 laps later. And for the most part, the front of the field very content running single file. Adam Shane still looking for a way down the inside line. He's got the 41 of Kaufman right behind him. There's the number 5 of McFadden. Not going to let him pop down there. As we go on over with Adam Shane. Well, we can't see. There you go. That's Mark McFadden on the left side of your screen. Wally Babb, I think he might be in the line as well. No, look at that. McFadden hops to the high line as Shane runs side by side with Babb. Oh, McFadden went extremely high there. I wonder if he's backing out of it. Shane back up in the high line. Is he going to hop in behind Powers in the baby blue number 5? Or is he going to stay out there? He's going to stay out high. An interesting choice. I think it's very interesting to see Shane in that 79 Ford F-150 stay committed to the high line despite really no support from anyone. As the top, I think that's the 6-7 drivers all linked up nose to tail. Yeah, you've got the top 9 now linked up nose to tail. Maybe just trying to communicate, get through a fuel run here. Yeah, just clicking off laps, not having any problems or woes. So far. Now your top 3, they have not come down pit road since lap 34. So if we do have that green flag, we're about 7 laps earlier than the majority of the field here. Jorgert in the 57 comes down pit road. Doing some very intriguing to see with the top three drivers all nose to tail what they're going to do here. It's been about 16 laps. They've been out now. They've been able to save fuel under caution, a little bit of fuel. The long track to do much fuel saving here, 3 miles long. Let's see, are we going to see another spectacular pit stop from these drivers? We've seen some carnage coming onto pit road. We didn't see carnage on pit road here tonight at the Super Speedway. And it is not a smooth entry out of 4 with a high bank in this track. Really upsets the truck. Not a lot of transition to work down. I mean, you can see just how high bank it is here. That's what it's allowing these guys to hit, 240 miles an hour, nose to tail. The more trucks get packed up in there, the more exciting it gets. Things were getting a little bit exciting there. It looked like Davis was swapping around the number 1 machine. Mullahan had to react to the number 12. Still so far, no pit stops. I think very shortly you're going to see a green flag stop from at least the top 3. 7 laps. Getting out longer than the majority of the field. I'm excited for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye on John Ballou, the number 9. I don't think that he's going to come down pit road without Paris up right behind him. Another lap, they stay out, and we get some 4-wide action here at the Super Speedway. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. Wally back on the inside line. And you don't see that often, 4 wide, where everybody gets through it unscathed. And I think drivers going to try and stay on that bottom line if they can help it. At least those that are going to try and get linked up for the pit cycle that's soon to happen. And here we go. It's going to be Ballou, Paris, Davis, Shane. Oh no, is that Shane? Yes, it was. Shane has problems. What happened to the number 79 machine here? Make contact? No, just too much brakes. You can see the rotors glowing on the front, and unfortunately, a hard hit for Adam Shane. That's going to put John Mullahan as your race leader. Hoffman shows second, Babb third, Powers fourth, McFadden rounds out the top 5. Now we're expecting Mullahan to be able to stay out about 7 laps later. then John Ballou. So about 5-6 more laps I think they've got left to go on fuel. And then they will be good to go until the end of the race, barring any late race cautions, which I think we're sure to see here. Out the top 5. Now their fuel window is officially open here. If they pit now, they'll be good to go to the end, but I think what's going to happen, these drivers are going to stretch out that fuel run. That way, if we do come down to a green-white checker, they're going to be looking very good. Is that McFadden? McFadden almost tagged the wall there. And the all-blue Xfinity backed Ford F-150. So if we see the green-white checkers having to be used, these guys want to make sure they've got enough fuel in them to go the extra 5 to 7 laps down the racing. And Mullahan is the line number 12 machine. As Kaufman, the 41, gives a hearty shove from behind. Looks like McFadden still looking for that outside line. Side by side with Babb, made his way around Powers as well, but how successful will this run be without any draft support? McFadden has made the high line work to his advantage in that number 5 Ford. Going all the way up to third. It looks like here comes Wally Babb back in the inside line to try and hold on to that podium spot. McFadden just doesn't have the draft support. As Babb and Powers work together on the inside line, let's see if the number 5 can build up some momentum. Because here comes Chris Luttrell. And 6 trying to close things down, join the fray here. Now we're expecting the next couple of laps for these drivers to come down pit road for their final planned stop of the night. Right now still 19 drivers on the lead lap, 23 still racing out of the 25 original entries. I'd say almost just about anybody in the top 17 still has a chance of it. As McFadden comes down pit road, looks like Page, Ross, and Parks will follow him there. Kaufman, Mullahan, Babb, Powers, Luttrell, your top 5 all staying out. So Kaufman and a lot of others come down pit road, but look at this, Sean Powers, the number 5 machine, opts to stay out. There's the number 1, who I believe is a lap down. Yes, that's Chris Davis, going to try and get his lap back here. Wally Babb's about 4 tenths back to 9.9. He's got Eli Warren. how much longer will these 8 drivers still on track opt to stretch it out for? Not much longer is the answer. As they all come down pit road, locking up the brakes before those entry cones. Nobody wants to get a speeding penalty here late in the race. Well, I think as this green flag stop cycles through, that may put John Ballou as your race leader, the number 9 machine. The top 8 drivers all getting ready to come out. Look at everybody taking fuel. And look at this, John Ballou, Jeremy Paris blasting by the field once more. They've got somebody linked up with them there. I'm not quite sure to try and get eyes on who that may be. Not Eli Warren in 3rd. It's going to be a driver a lap down. Maybe, I think that's Shane Davis, the 25 machine. Yes, it is. Davis was in pit road for 48 seconds, must have had some sort of penalty. But John Ballou, Jeremy Paris, and now with the help of lap traffic, have pulled an 8-second gap with 17 laps left to go. If we go back to Eli Warren, Stephen Page, it's frantic is the best way to describe this. There's Page, number 6 machine, getting pushed by Chad Ross in the 38 special. They're about 1.4 seconds back from Jeffrey Radke. Radke linked up with Mullahan. If any of these guys want a chance to get up front and battle with Ballou and Paris, they've got to work together here. As right now, Ballou and Paris have extended the gap to about 8.5 seconds over Mullahan, but I think Mullahan's about to have a whole lot of company. Yes, he is. That's pretty much the rest of the field. As Page and Ross on the outside line trying to get things formed up, still rocking forward. So now the million-dollar question. Will Stephen Page, who's leading the second pack of cars, looks like this is 3rd, all the way back to 15 places, 12 drivers in the shuffle. Will they have time to close an 8.7-second gap that John Ballou and Jeremy Paris have? Or has Ballou and Paris worked way too hard to have the late race caution throw a wrench in things? Looks like right now Ballou and Paris still on 8.2-second gap, but no, Ballou and Paris come down pit road with 14 laps left to go. What's happening here? Looks like Davis The whole Davis family's going to follow suit. I'm so confused. 13 laps left to go. They all come down pit road together. This is going to rapidly change things up. As Page, now your race leader with 13 laps left to go. How did they find themselves that short on fuel here? Oh no, everybody's coming down pit road. One more stop of the night. That's Page, Parks, Ross, and Mullahan. The drivers starting to figure out with about 15, 16 laps left to go, everybody's going to be short on fuel here. Kevin McCall Jr., now your racing machine. He's got Darren Fulton linked up with him on the high line, Mark McFadden on the low line, as well as Wally Babb. What's going to happen here? How's this going to shape up? 9 drivers still out on track who have yet to come down pit road. Excuse me, it's maybe about 11 drivers who have not come down pit road between laps 60 and 62. Was the last time these top 11 drivers came down pit road together. So will these top 9, top 10 drivers be able to make it on fuel here? Or is all this stress for nothing and we'll see a late race caution as drivers start to get antsy? If I had a wager, I think we're going to see a late race caution here tonight. Still have 17 drivers on the lead lap. 23 still out there chugging along for points. Laps left to go. Will McCullough, Fulton, Babb, Powers, Radke, your top 5. Make it on fuel here. Or are they heavily gambling on a late race caution? Now McCullough, very experienced, very wise when it comes to pit strategies, especially showing his prowess on super speedways. Now normally at this point in the race I would expect McCullough to be kind of tucking in behind traffic if he was feeling he's going to be a little bit short on fuel. But right now he's the front truck in the 03 machine, which is good to be the race leader, but he's also burning up a little bit more fuel than say Babb, Powers who are up right behind them. There's about 8 drivers in this pack, and they've got about a 22-second advantage on Rylan Fascinato in 9th. I will be astounded if somehow, A, these drivers can make it till the end on fuel, and B, we don't have a green-white checker attempt. 8 laps left to go. I'm expecting these guys to get very, very dicey just about any moment here. And you're going to see about 8 different trucks trying to take over those top 3 positions. 7 laps left to go. McCullough and Fulton still linked up in the top 2 spots. Bad Powers, Radke, Warren, McKinney, McFadden still in it here with a chance to bring home a win. And that is such a massive if they have the fuel to make it all the way till the end. Having to pit at this point of the race would be absolutely devastating. The drivers that work so hard to get up front. You see one driver dropping out, saying that's Jordan Darnell. He had some sort of problem. And oh no, here comes the lead pack, about to put some drivers down a lap, I would think. It's going to be 5 laps left to go. This time by the ticker updates. McCullough out front in the 03 Chevrolet. That top 5 a lot more diverse now. One Chevy, the Lexington Jr. Fulton, our fastest Toyota in second. Babb and Powers running third and fourth in the Ford F-150s. And Radke rounds out the top 5 also in a Toyota. The top 5, what was previously dominated by Chevrolet, a lot more mixed up now. Left to go. You got lap traffic going very, very high to make things easy for your race leader. Who's going to be? No! They pull out in front of the race leader. Kaufman came down. McCullough absolutely pulverizes him. What happened there? Did Kaufman not realize that's where the leaders were? Was he trying to get into pit road? And now McCullough's going to fall back to 8th with heavy damage. Kenneth McCullough Jr. can't catch a break. Eli Warren takes over the race lead. What did we just witness? Warren's got about 4/10 over Derek Fulton. And McCullough is dropping down the standings like a rock. McCullough's got to have massive damage on the front of that 03 machine. If he popped that radiator, he might not make it 3 more laps. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Three laps left to go here at the iRacing Super Speedway. Looks like about 6 drivers in a nice tidy pack. McFadden has to come down pit road with 3 laps left to go. He finds himself short on fuel. 2 laps left to go. It's Warren, Fulton, Babb, Radke, McKinney, and Powers. If we can make the white flag, we'll lock up tonight's main event for better or worse. But if we have a big crash here before the race leader takes the white flag, we're going to put it into overtime with a green-white checker. Looks like the second line's starting to get formed up slightly there. Oh, how's this going to shape up? White flag is out this time by the final lap here at the iRacing Super Speedway. Keep an eye out. Jeffrey Radke, Dalton McKinney, and Powers on the high line. They've got 3 trucks. You got the 99 of Babb trying to figure out what to give us support to. Get ready. I think we're about to see a 3, 4, 5 wide finish here, as it is anybody's guess who in the top 6 is going to bring it home. Radke, your race leader, coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. He's got McKinney right behind him, as well as Powers. Looks like that outside line works well, but they've got a driver loose in front of them, holding it against the wall. Oh, Oh, who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Dalton McKinney, Jeffrey Radke, and Sean Powers bringing home the top three. A great finish from those three. Let's try and get these drivers up here into victory lane. We're going to try and get these top three up into the waiting room. As it's going to be Dalton McKinney celebrating the limelight in the 46 machine. Going to burn it down for the fans here tonight. McKinney also already in the waiting room. Well done to the fans. Burning it down, enjoying the limelight. And a great win from the 46. I bet he just ran out of gas there. We've got Dalton McKinney. We've got Sean Powers. Now let's go ahead and start getting this going here. Well, up first, we're being joined by Sean Powers. Sean, great race out there, man. Not sure if you expected to be up here, but that was a pretty spectacular finish out of you. John, you there? John? John? John, can you hear me now? Mike's not. We're going to try and wait a few more moments to see if we can get Powers to queue up here. Not having any luck. Yep, wait, I heard something.
All right, sorry, man. I've been having a little problem with mine. What's up?
No worries. Good to have you up here. A great run out of you in that number 5 machine tonight. Did you expect yourself to be in the top 3 by the time it was all said and done?
No, that was crazy. That was a lot of fun. It was good working with the distance group. We all stuck together and we did pretty good.
Now, Sean, did you expect to see a green-white checker attempt tonight, or were you?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah. I figured the green-white checker was coming, but it was a lot. I like it when it goes green like that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of fun, a lot of strategy. Now, looked like you guys were able to kind of get things dialed in on strategy, not having to come in that final time. We saw several other fast trucks come in. Was that a team decision, or was that something that kind of developed as the run went on?
Yeah, Coach Dalton, he told us when to pit, and we all listened, and it worked out.
Well, awesome, man. Glad it worked out well for you. Good to have you up here inside the top 3. Who do you want to give a shout-out to that helped you make it happen?
Thanks to the distance, all the guys over there, Rylan, Corey, Dalton, Jordan, Chris. I know I'm forgetting one. Thanks for watching, Tessa and Purdy and Alvin. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Well done, Sean. Looking forward to having you back up here in a great race tonight.
Thanks, man. That was a lot of fun. See you.
Thank you, sir. That was Sean Powers bringing home the 3rd place spot. Up next, we've got our good friend Jeffrey Radke join us in the 51. Jeff, we saw some big charges out there tonight, and good to have you back up here making it happen.
Good to be here. How are you this evening?
I'm well, my friend. What a wild race, and it looks like for you guys in the team, it really came down to pit strategy here tonight.
Yeah, I accidentally pit a lap too soon, so I had to do some major fuel saving there at the end.
Yeah, it looks like just about everybody around you came on 62. You came on 61. How hard is it to do fuel saving at a 3-mile super speedway where, for the most part, if you're not wide open, you're getting run over?
It wasn't too bad if you get far enough back in the pack. The trick is not losing the draft. But yeah, running 3/4 throttle is not easy.
And Jeff, it looked like we had a little bit of lap traffic coming out. Rise the checker getting a little bit loose. You dove all the way down the inside line against McKinney. Was that finish cleaner than you were expecting, or were you pretty trusting of everybody around you?
Pretty trusting of everybody around me. A lot of teammates, so not too much to worry about. But the lap truck definitely threw a wrench in our plans.
Yep, spices up a little bit. Jeff, good times as always. A lot of great racing, and good to have you back up here. A hard-fought second. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped you make it happen here for the opening of segment 4?
That's good to be back, James. My wife for letting me do it every week, and Jeff for putting it on, and of course you for hosting it.
Well, my pleasure, my friend. Looking forward to having you back, and hopefully up here again next week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Hope
you,
to.
Jeff.
Mhm.
That was Jeffrey Radke bringing home the second place spot. But up next, Dalton McKinney in the 46 machine. Dalton, welcome to Victory Lane and a fantastic run for you in that 46 machine.
Thank you. I've had a couple taken away from me this year that I felt that I should have won, so it's kind of nice to steal one, I guess, be on the other end of it.
Yeah, it seemed like things worked out well for you. Good pit strategy, good truck maintenance. Now, did you have to use that fast repair early on the race? I thought we saw some bumping and grinding, but wasn't sure on that.
Yeah, I think on that first or second pit stop, that first green flag pit stop, I got in a little hot on pit road. Truck in front of me checked up a little sooner than I was expecting. It was either run into him or take the apron and hope I could save it. And I ended up hitting the wall. Had to tow and got put a lap down, but was able to get the lucky dog on the next caution and use my fast repair. And then just able to stay clean from there and give myself a chance coming towards the end of the race.
Now, talking about fast repairs, how much more nerve-wracking is it when you no longer have that one kind of get-out-of-jail-free card in your back pocket and knowing that's pretty much the only chance you've got at a wadded-up race truck and still a good finish?
Oh yeah, it definitely adds more patience, afterwards, especially when I think I took a lap 25 or so. So from there on, anytime a truck in front of you gets out of sorts, I was the first one to check up, just making sure I got through it, and it definitely adds a layer of a little bit of fear, I guess, once you use it early.
I guess my final question for you is, Dalton, I mean, it looked like pit strategy was the name of the game tonight. How are you feeling on fuel? The lap 62 pit stop, obviously a great decision. Were you guys cutting it close? Were you pretty comfortable, or what were your thoughts?
Yeah, we had a couple guys on the team that needed a pit on lap 61, and it kind of got jumbled up, and not everyone made it. But I knew we really needed to get that extra lap in to get to 62, and then once we made it, then I was pretty confident that we'd be able to make it back to the finish line. As long I wasn't really racing too hard, I was just kind of on the bottom, short way around the track, rolling off the throttle a bunch just to make sure. And I think when I crossed the line, I had about a lap and a half left still, so I was plenty good then.
Awesome. Good to see it. Great racing all the way around, and good to have you up here in the top spot, kicking off segment 4 the right way. And Dalton, you've got the final privilege, the pleasure, my friend, the send-offs of the night. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped you make it happen?
Just everyone at the distance, it's really tough when you come down the final laps and, 5 of the 7 cars your trucks are racing with are all teammates or so. So that was a little interesting, trying not to step on toes and run them clean, because they're going to run you clean. And but that's, with Jeff and Wally, Sean, he's not technically on the team, but he was in our Discord. He's a good buddy of mine. To see him up there was cool. And then Jordan had a really good finish in 11th. And then Rylan, he had some issues. He kind of lost a draft with some front end damage and had to pit one more time. He wasn't able to get the same fuel mileage as us. But just all them guys. My buddy Scott, he watches my parents, my little sister, my cousin, Lil Joe. Them guys support me quite a bit. So I appreciate it. Appreciate Jeff putting the league on and you for doing this broadcast. Us drivers sure appreciate it.
My absolute pleasure, my friend. Don, a lot of fun watching your race. Well-deserved win tonight, and hope to see you carry that momentum forward for the rest of the segment.
Thanks, man. I sure appreciate it.
That was Dalton McKinney bringing it home in the top spot here at the FEG PC NASCAR Oval Series, brought to you by FEGPC.net. It was Dalton McKinney, Jeffrey Radke, Sean Powers running 1, 2, 3, and living in the limelight here at iRacing Super Speedway. As always, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, thank you all so much for tuning in, supporting the drivers, supporting the league, and supporting me up in the booth. Looking forward to having you back all same time, same place next week, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.